Hello, English learners. Welcome back to the Native English Podcast, brought to you by Native English Stories. I'm Sarah.
And I'm John. It's so good to be back in the studio again. Hello, everyone. How are you all doing today?
John, I have a very serious English emergency today. I'm not even joking.
Oh, no. What is the big emergency, Sarah? Did you lose your dictionary?
It is be, do, and have. What is the actual real-life difference between them? Because honestly, John, nothing makes sense to me anymore.
Ah, the big three. Why are they giving you so much trouble today?
Because sometimes I say I am tired, sometimes I say I do work, and then I say I have finished. Why are these all so completely different? My brain just cannot organize them into a neat pile.
I see exactly where the problem is. And actually, Sarah, it is not what you think it is at all.
What do you mean by that? Is my grammar just terrible? Be honest with me.
No, not at all. Listen to me very carefully. You do not have a grammar problem. You have a system problem.
A system problem? Wow, that sounds like a computer error. What does that even mean?
It means you have been trying to memorize hundreds of separate, tiny grammar rules, and that approach, Sarah, will always exhaust you.
Yes, exactly. It is completely and totally exhausting. I feel like my head is going to spin.
But here is the good news. English is not random. It is actually a very logical, well-oiled machine.
A machine? Okay, I'm listening.
Yes, and if you stay with me through this lesson, you will finally understand how English actually works at its very core.
Wow, that is quite a big promise, John.
I know it is, but just take a slow, deep breath. There are absolutely no boring, heavy grammar rules today, I promise.
Really? No complicated tense charts, no confusing diagrams?
Not even one. Today is just about pure understanding of how the English language thinks.
Oh, thank goodness. I already feel so much better.
Good. Now, close your eyes for just a moment.
Okay, they are closed. I'm ready.
Imagine the entire English language as a massive, tall building. It's very impressive and looks complex from the outside, right?
Got it. I can definitely picture it in my mind.
Well, that entire building is held up by only 3 main pillars.
Only 3 pillars for the whole entire language? Are you sure?
Only 3. English runs on 3 specific systems: be, do, and have. Everything else, every single sentence is built right on top of them.
That sounds almost too simple to be true.
Let's test it out together. Let's start with the very first system, the be system.
Okay, the be system. What does it actually do?
You said earlier, I am tired. What do you think that means at a deeper, more human level?
I suppose I'm just describing how I feel right now.
Exactly. You are describing a state, a condition, a situation. Now, try saying a few more.
Okay, I am happy, I am ready for this, I am confused, but also excited.
Perfect. Now feel what all of those sentences have in common. Do not think about grammar rules or textbooks. Just feel the vibration of the words.
They all describe me. They describe exactly where I am or what my situation is at this very moment.
Exactly right. The be system is all about state. Think of it like taking a photograph on your phone.
A photograph?
Yes. Click. When you take a photo, does anyone in that photo actually move?
No, everything is completely still. It's frozen in time.
That is exactly what a state is, a frozen moment of reality. There is no physical action, no movement. It's just how things are right now.
Oh, wow. So when I say I am busy, that is just a photograph of my current situation.
Absolutely correct. There is no physical action happening in the word busy. It is simply your current reality. The be system takes a snapshot.
This is actually making a lot of sense now. She is ready, click. Her situation is ready.
You've got it. Now, before we move to the next pillar, we have a quick challenge for you. Go check out the pinned comment below. We read every single reply.
Definitely. Let's keep going.
Now, let me put you in a real situation. Imagine you're at your desk and your manager walks over. He looks stressed and asks if you can help with something urgent.
Oh, pressure.
Using the be system, how do you explain your situation?
I would say, I am really sorry. I am completely overwhelmed right now.
Perfect. I am overwhelmed. State. Photograph. He instantly understands your situation without you listing every single task.
Clean and clear. I like it.
Now, let's move to the second system, the do system.
Okay, this one always trips me up. Do I work? I do work. When do I use which?
Let's compare them side by side. The be system is a photograph, still, frozen, a moment captured.
Yes, got it.
The do system is completely different. It is a video.
A video?
You press play and action starts happening. Do means movement, something you actually do, physically or mentally.
So do is action and be is state.
Exactly. If be is a photograph, do is a movie playing on your screen.
So when I say I work, that is the do system even without the word do in it?
Yes, work is an action verb. It belongs to the do family. Every action verb does. Run, study, type, call, eat, sleep, all of them.
Wow, that opens up so much. So I do exercise every morning means I take action. The video of me exercising is playing.
Exactly. You are moving. You are making things happen. The video runs.
And I do my job well means I am actively completing tasks, taking action every day.
Perfect. You're getting it faster than most people do. Let's do a quick test. I'll give you a sentence and you tell me photograph or video.
Okay, I'm ready. Bring it on.
The team leader is frustrated.
Frustrated is a feeling, no movement. Photograph, B system.
Excellent. Next, the team leader sends 20 emails before noon.
Sends is an action. She's moving, doing something actively. Video, do system.
Perfect. One more. I'm at my laptop.
Photograph, B system. My location and situation frozen in a moment.
And I type a message to a client.
Video, do system. Action happening, movement. The movie is playing.
You are doing brilliantly, Sarah. Absolutely brilliantly.
This is actually fun. But John, wait.
What is it?
I just remembered something embarrassing. Last week I told someone I am work right now.
Ah, yes, I am work. I hear that from a lot of learners.
Why is it wrong? Help me understand using the systems.
Okay, let's look at it. What is am?
Am is the B system, the photograph, state.
And what is work?
Work is an action, the video, movement.
So what happened in that sentence?
I tried to mix a photograph and a video together at the same time.
Exactly. You crashed two different systems into each other. The language short-circuited.
Ha! System crash. Error detected.
You cannot say I am, which is state, plus work, which is pure action, in that way. You have to choose what you want to communicate.
So if I want to describe my state, I say I am at work or I am busy.
Yes, and if you want to show the action, you say I work or I am working, which uses the be system plus a special action form.
Exactly right. See, you fixed that mistake without touching a single grammar textbook. Wow, I just needed to decide if I'm taking a photograph or recording a video.
That's the whole secret. So be is state, do is action. Are you ready to go to the third level?
Yes, absolutely. What is the third system?
Have, the have system.
Oh, this one genuinely confuses me the most. I have finished. It feels like an action because finishing is something I did, but it also feels different somehow.
That feeling you have is completely correct. It is different. The have system is not a photograph, and it's not a video.
Then what is it?
Okay, imagine you just completed a really challenging project at work, the hardest one of the year.
I can feel the exhaustion already.
While you were working on it every day, what system was that?
Working every day is action, movement, video, do system.
Perfect. Now the deadline arrives. You submit everything. The work is done. The video stops playing. What happens next?
I can finally breathe. The action is completely over.
And your manager walks over and hands you a certificate of recognition.
Oh, nice. I love that idea.
You're holding that certificate in your hands right now. That certificate is the have system.
Wait, just holding the result?
Yes, have equals result. Have equals the experience you now possess. The action is finished, it's in the past, but you hold what came out of it.
So when I say I have finished, it means the video of me working is completely over and I'm holding the finished work in my hands like a trophy.
Exactly. I have finished means look at what I now hold. The result is here. The action is done.
Wow, that changes everything. That completely changes how I understand that phrase.
In a professional environment, it's incredibly powerful. If your manager asks about a quarterly report and you say, I finished the report, that sounds like something you do regularly, a habit, a video that plays every day.
Right, like I finish reports all the time. It's part of my routine.
But what if you want to show him the specific result of this specific work?
I say, I have finished the report, like I'm putting the trophy right on his desk.
Exactly. Placing the trophy down in front of him. The action happened, and here is the result of it.
This is so much more powerful than just reciting grammar patterns.
Because you're painting a picture with the language. Let me try another one to make sure I really have it.
Go ahead.
I have completed the client proposal.
What's the trophy there?
The completed proposal. All the work is done. The video has stopped. I'm holding the finished document right now.
Perfectly explained. And experiences work the same way. Experiences are trophies you collect.
Trophies I collect?
Think of your mind as a shelf full of experiences. If someone asks, have you ever visited Rome? You say, yes, I have visited Rome. The trip is over, the action of traveling is done, but the memory and the experience sits on your shelf permanently.
Oh, that's such a clear image. The experience lives on your mental shelf like a trophy even after the action ended.
Exactly. You possess that experience. It belongs to you now.
So be is the photograph, do is the video, and have is the trophy. I feel like I just learned the whole core of English in one conversation.
Haha, you basically did. But now comes the best part.
There's more?
The moment when all three systems work together in the same situation.
Oh, I'm on the edge of my seat.
Same scenario. 3 different bosses telling 3 different parts of the story. Let's use your workday.
Okay, let's say I had an incredibly demanding day today.
Perfect. Use the first system. Give me the photograph of your state.
I am absolutely exhausted right now.
Click. There is the photograph, your current situation captured. Now use the second system. Tell me the action that explains why.
I work really hard every single day.
Vroom, the video is playing. We can see you moving, doing, making things happen. Now use the third system. What is the result you are holding?
I have finished every single task on my list today.
And there is the trophy, placed right there on the table.
I am exhausted, I work hard, I have finished everything. Same day, 3 systems, 3 completely different lenses.
That is the golden combination. English gives you the choice of how you want the listener to see your reality. Do you want to show your state, your action, or your result? You decide.
I am the director, I choose what angle to show.
Exactly. Now let's play a quick game. Fix the mistake.
Oh, you're testing me now.
Just a little. It will lock everything in permanently. Ready?
Ready. Give me the first one.
Here it is. I have tired.
Oh, that sounds immediately wrong to me now. Tired is a state, a feeling, and have is for a result, a trophy. You cannot hold a feeling in your hands like a physical trophy.
So how do you fix it?
Use the photograph system. I am tired.
Fixed instantly without any grammar book. Okay, second one. I do tired.
That is also wrong. Do is the video, the action, the movement, and tired is not a movement. You cannot do a tiredness. The systems completely clash.
System crash.
Error 404, systems incompatible.
You are getting this completely. Now let's put it all together with one final real-life situation.
The ultimate test. I am ready.
You are presenting to a senior client during a video call. Everyone is watching. The client looks directly at you and says, "Can you update me on where the project stands?"
All eyes on me. Okay, let me think. Photograph, video, trophy.
Start with the photograph. Show your situation.
I am fully focused on this project and it has been my top priority.
Beautiful state. The photograph is clear. Now the video. Show the action.
My team and I work on it every day, and we've been moving through every stage systematically.
The video is running. We can see the movement. Now put the trophy on the table.
And I have completed the final version for your review today.
Wow, that is a genuinely impressive professional response.
I am fully focused. We work every day. I have completed it. Clean, confident, clear.
No confusion, no hesitation. The client knows your state, your action, and your result in 3 simple sentences.
And I did not think about verb tenses once. I just thought about what picture I wanted to paint.
That's the whole point. Meaning over memorization, visuals over rules, systems over random patterns.
This honestly changes how I feel about speaking English. It feels like control rather than guessing.
Let's do a final summary to lock it in permanently.
My brain is ready.
System 1, B, the photograph, frozen state, current situation, feelings, identity, conditions. Example?
I am ready for anything.
System 2, do, the video, action, movement, activity, things you do regularly or physically. Example?
I study English every morning before work.
System 3, have, the trophy, result, completed action, experience you now possess. Example?
I have learned something that will change my English forever.
And the golden rule that ties it all together?
English is not random, it is a system.
Frame that on your wall.
It genuinely takes so much fear out of speaking. I don't feel like I'm guessing anymore.
Now, here's a challenge for everyone listening. Go to the comment section right now and write 3 sentences about your day. 1 using be for your current state, something like I am happy today or I'm at my desk. 1 using do for a regular action, something like I study English every day or I exercise in the morning. And 1 using have for a result from today, something like I have finished my homework or I have learned a new idea today.
Show us your trophies in the comments. We genuinely want to see them, and we'll reply to as many as we can.
If this lesson helped you even a little, then please subscribe to Native English Podcast, brought to you by Native English Stories, and share it with someone who is also struggling with be, do, and have.
Thank you so much, Sarah. My brain confusion is completely cured.
Haha, my pleasure. Keep practicing those 3 systems. They appear everywhere once you start looking.
Photo, video, trophy. I will never forget it.
Until next time, everyone, keep practicing, keep speaking, and keep building your systems.
Bye, everyone. See you in the next lesson.
Bye-bye.